Hey guys, TC here. This morning I'm reviewing the M4043. This is one of the artilleries of choice for trying to complete SPG15 War Gods for the Object 260. As we can see, this is the Tier 8 American Scumbus. It's got the distinction. It has one of the most powerful guns at Tier 8 on an artillery piece, with, it reckons, an average damage of 1850. That's, of course, if it penetrates, which it doesn't. You're normally going to get 700 to 800 out of this with a hit. 241 pen with AP though is pretty powerful, and the premium shells just give you a bit more splash. As you can see, I've moved the T92 crew into this for SPG15. The problem you've got with trying to do it in a Tier 10 artillery is that as long as there are scouts in the game, they will always be top if they have good game. So it's not fantastic to have scouts in the game. So at Tier 8, you do occasionally get games with no scouts, or you'll be shooting at Tier 10s, which give you an XP boost, which is what you need for this mission. As you know, artillery gets really poor experience per game, so you need to counter that by shooting at higher tier vehicles so that you get a better XP bonus. So the crew's out of the T92, 6 cents, full camo, and we're just working on BIA now. Module wise, rammer, lane drive, and a camo net. Some people drop the camo net for binoculars, which is a viable option. Ammunition wise, I am running this full scumbag mode, so we have the big HG shells which give 8.4 meters of splash radius. I run 4 AP, which do come in useful at times. I use a large repair kit, the case of cola, and the 105 fuel. It just allows it to turn quicker, get about the map a bit quicker, and the cola just boosts everything up. So if you compare the basic gun stats with the stats that I'm running here, normally you get 1.2 rounds per minute, I get 1.49 rounds per minute. Dispersion is 0.86 normally, and I've got that down to 0.79. Aiming time 7.5 seconds down to 6.26 seconds. Yes, that is, ludicrous, but this is artillery, and this is what it does. So, yeah, not much else really to say about it. You do have to be quite careful actually, because the front of this here has 108mm of armour, so you can, under some very, very extreme and bizarre circumstances, actually weather a shot. Not always though, not always. So the game I've got coming up for you here is this week's best attempt at SPG15 War God for the Object 260. The conditions for the mission are that you have to do over 3,000 damage, and you have to be top of the team for top of both teams for experience and damage. Now the experience is the hard one. It's doable, but it's not easy. This time I'm playing solo, on my own. I'm not platooning anybody. There has been a lot of artillery play recently on the channel, on both the Twitch channel and on here, so I apologise for that. However, we've got 2 missions left before we get the Object 260, and yeah, it's beginning to grate a bit. Anyway, guys, let's kick the replay off, and we'll have a look at this game. So, without further ado, let's see this game. Okay, guys, as you can see, this is mainly a Tier 9 top tier game. So we have on the opposition to shoot a T95, a Waffenpanzer IV, an E75. So there's Tier 9s to hit, so the XP bonus should hopefully be in effect. Other than that, it's just a Tier 9 game with 4 very unlucky Tier 7 tanks. But let's see how we do. So let's speed up the replay. Let's see how we get on. So, initially I was going to take up a position nearer to the Magic Forest. However, when I was observing the minimap, it was a little bit off, so anyway, I'm going to keep the replay speed fairly high, okay? Mainly because, obviously, you know, this is artillery. So, shot out there. First shot, blind kill on the Scorpion G there, which was unfortunate. So, we have to say, money well spent there to him. I'm relocating quickly over to the other side of the map now, so I'm behind my team. Looking here for shots on the E75 and T34, caught no joy. However, the the 110 does provide a much more suitable target. Shot out, splash damage. That was just splash damage to the E75. Disappointed. If I'd held my shot, I could have splashed all three there, and I probably would have got more damage for this game. Still on reload. As you can see, it takes 45 seconds to reload this game, so I'm going to keep it at double speed. Shot out, lands behind the E75, but not close enough to do any splash damage. Just waiting the reload out. That's the thing that annoys me with this tank. It's so long to reload. You know, it's looking for shots on this poor T34, but there's nothing there. FCM's there, which send a shot the FCM's way. Relocate, so I don't know if we do any damage to the FCM. We'll have to check at the post game results. And you see, I've got to look this way now because there are tanks pressing our flank. Our SU is going to go down. Our two SUs are going to go down very soon. Managed to land a tracking shot there on the IS-3 and give our IS a fighting chance. Keep the team abreast of the reload there, so as you can see we're 26 seconds for this reload now. IS is pushing in, we're not loaded yet. Take out their IS. Reload cycle again, running through. Keeping the IS abreast of what our reload is. But luckily the team saves him. So we're now looking for this T95. Game does go a bit static here, while the team seems to just try and feel out where they are and get an idea. The fact that they've still got a Scorpion does give, and the T95 does mean they've got quite a good view range. But we are actively hunting down these two TDs camping at the back, which are holding our T34 in place. I'll let the team know that I'm ready to fire. Looking in for any signs of movement, trees going over, dust being kicked up, anything like that. I switch back here because the CDC is going into the forest. So the T34 pings A7, so I re-aim thinking he's going to be spotting. So I let him know I'm ready for spots. And the T34 comes back to us saying he can't spot them. So the CDC then starts pinging for help. So we ping onto the other side of the map. Trying to aim on this lurver. Blind shot out. We're on reload. Looking again where the lurver was. CDC gets spotted there. As we can see, he's pushing his way around the bottom there to engage our IS. We're loaded, ready to fire. We're just waiting the aiming time. Shoot, but unfortunately, not even in the same postcode. So again, we now go through the aiming cycle again, go through the reload cycle again. This is where artillery gameplay becomes so boring and so dull, because you literally just sat here just waiting and waiting and waiting for the reload and waiting to see targets. Shot out on the Lover. Again, T90, we just get it that close, but it's, it's all damage, it all adds up. So now we're on the reload cycle again. 23 seconds left on the reload. 12 seconds left. We'll let them know that we're going to be shooting the Lover. Shot out. Great hit on the Lover there. 800 odd damage, 800 odd points taken off him. We've got 3 minutes 46 on the clock. We've got plenty of time. Unfortunately, the location of the TDs mean that we can't actually cap. Everyone's trying to get eyes. So I've got two rounds of ammunition left. Shot out on the Scorpion. He's got a little enough health and hit points that we're able to just hit him. Tree goes down there. We've got 1 HE shell. We're waiting the reload. We are aiming at the T95. Now this is the choice target for us. Shot goes out. 601 damage, that gets close. Next shell is AP. However, the team is able to just kill this guy quickly. Eventually. And there we go. In for the win. 3 kills. Let's have a look at the post-game results. Okay guys, so the post-game results for this game. As you can see, it was only a first-class game. We got Bruiser. We got the Gauze medal, which is highly coveted for artillery, and that means I did 10 times the hit points of my vehicle in damage. You can't hit any allied vehicles, can only be obtained in random battles. It's not easy to achieve a Gauze medal, because for the M40-43 that's basically doing over 4,000 damage. 42,729 credits earned, 1,572 XP, and the high caliber award. As we can see on the team scores, while we are top for damage with 4,003, just squeaking the Gauze medal out there, due to the CDC's 3.1k and his 2.4k spotting damage, we missed out on the top spot for XP, which would have completed SPG15 for us. So we tried. There's nothing we can do about that. You can see the XP difference as well. I'm doing 1100. I'm doing 900 more damage than this chap. Yet I'm all 200 damage less than him. Yes, artillery doesn't get assistance damage or anything like that. That a normal tank does, but it's really been heavily penalised, and it does make this mission nigh on impossible. Detailed report, as you can see, 12 shots fired, 3 direct hits, 7 splash, that give us our 4,003 damage. As you can see, the amount of premium ammunition and consumables we had to run, we still lost nearly 100,000 credits that game. SPG15 and in general is not a cheap mission to get. I'm fully expecting for this to cost me upwards of 6 to 7 million credits just to achieve SPG15. That's why a lot of people say that. That's why a lot of people skip the artillery mission, because it's just that hard to achieve. They try and get the other missions with honours. It's very difficult to do this mission. I believe I've got the right artillery pieces for it. In my M44, my M40-43, and my M53-55. I believe these are the right artillery pieces for it. It's just doing it. So anyway, that's the review on the M40-43, guys. It is a very powerful Tier 8 artillery piece. It's hampered by a very long reload, in my opinion. You can improve that with your Coca-Cola, BIA, Rammer, etc. But you'll never. It'll always be a very slow reload. That does mean that as artillery, you can relocate, you can move around, you can get away from things, but you have to bear that in mind. Always be eyes on your minimap when you're playing your artillery pieces for missions. A lot of you won't play artillery, but it is what it is. Anyway, thanks very much, guys, and I'll see you on the next replay. See ya.